Murphy stars in this holiday comedy adventure about a man on a mission to win his neighborhood's annual Christmas home decoration contest. Well, right here in Denver, we have our own Candy Cane Lane house, 1560 South York Street. You can stop by to see it now through Christmas. Well, we brought in an expert lighting designer and owner of Peak Outdoor Lighting, Austin Weber. Hello, Austin. How are you?
Very good. Glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. Oh my gosh, I'm sure this was so exciting getting the house ready, and I'm sure it took a lot of work.
Yes, it did. It took a lot of work. Took 2 days for 3 of us to get it done.
2 full days. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But it looks really great. Yeah, I'm super happy with it.
I'm sure it does. Well, what part of Candy Cane Lane house did you do?
So we did the main tree in the center of the property.
Okay.
And then we did a trunk wrap on that. We also did outlining of the roof line for the actual home. And then we finished up with a couple of the other trees as well, where we did a little bit of a canopy wrap, a little mixture with the trunk wrap.
That looks beautiful.
Yeah.
You guys really did great. Nothing gets me more excited than looking at something like that. Oh, love Christmas. Well, what are your tips for successful outdoor lighting? Like the key basics that we should know.
So the biggest thing is just make sure you have enough lights. Most people don't realize how many lights it takes to really properly light up a tree.
Yeah.
So for example, their main tree that they had, it took 2,500 feet of lights to be able to wrap just one tree.
Oh my gosh.
So a lot of people look at a tree and they think that, you know, I can get away with 150, 200 feet, and it takes a lot more lights to really give it that professional look and make it pop.
Once you're there standing in front of the tree, I'm sure you're like, okay, we're gonna need a lot more.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay, that's a good tip right there, because I've had to run to the store so many times for extensions or more lights. What kinds of lights are the best to use? Because we see so many options.
Yeah, so most important is LED. One, for energy savings. Two, it's a safer thing to use because it uses less amperage, so you're less likely to any house fires or anything like that.
Okay.
And then as terms of different parts of the house, string lights are best for smaller trees, and then you have kind of the larger C9 bulbs that go better on houses or really large spruces or firs. And then you have kind of your decorations that you put on the property and kind of just saturate it through that way too.
Let me ask you a question, a personal question. You know, the fake snow that's, or like the white, it's supposed to look like snow. Is it safe to put lights underneath that, or is that a no-no?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay, that's fine, because I don't know the answer to that either, but I still did it with my nativity set. But I always wondered if that was okay. Well, there are trends to Austin, just like in fashion, but what's popular this year for decorating?
Yeah, I've noticed a lot more people this year have gone with more of a cleaner, warm white look to their house rather than the multicolored, traditional, all in your face. It's kind of just going with more of the clean, elegant, warm white look.
I love that. I mean, some of these houses just look phenomenal. I can't imagine how much work that took. Now, what are some important safety things to know when we are decorating the outdoor?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're doing it yourself and you're just buying strands of light, just make sure you're reading the packages.
Okay.
You just want to make sure you're not overloading any circuits so it's not going to cause any fires or anything like that.
Oh, no.
And if you're doing it yourself where you're buying it from a big box store and you're actually cutting it and putting the connections together, you just want to really make sure that you know what you're doing. If not, definitely call a professional, because you know there's a lot of house fires every year from Christmas lights.
Are there really?
It's over 700 a year.
No way.
Yeah.
And these are things that we do not hear about or we don't find out, but that's the reality. A lot of people aren't doing it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, in the movie Candy Cane Lane, what decorative elements were you most impressed with? And you saw the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really liked, so the first house they showed, I just really liked the colors on it. It was just a really cool look to it. But the one that I really like is the Matrix house they had, just because that kind of installation takes a lot of time and effort and very tedious, and it's really impressive they were able to put it together for the movie.
Yeah. Are there any houses here in Denver that you've looked at that you're like, oh my gosh, how did they do that? And I know that took a lot of work.
Yes, there was actually one of the government buildings down here in downtown, and it's just, I don't even know how they got the star on top of this big building. So but it looks incredible. All twinkly lights, it's all changing colors. It looks really great. They did an awesome job with it.
People get into the Christmas spirit. That's all I can say. But Candy Cane Lane House is no exception and one of the must-sees. What is your favorite color scheme for lights? Like, are you traditional or do you like to think outside the box?
I actually really like red and green. Red and green is
Really?
my favorite
Okay.
look. I will say that the type of house kind of varies on it. So more of like a colonial style house, I like more of the multicolor. But
Yeah.
on like a British West Indies kind of house, more of
Yeah.
the warm white, kind of keep it elegant and classy. So it really varies on like per house, but I really like the red and green.
The red and green takes me back to my childhood, and I always say, I'm going to switch it up and do colors because I've got kids, and I always go with the traditional white
Yeah.
because it's elegant.
Yeah, it is. It
But
is.
at
yeah.
some point, I'll go colorful. But thank you so much for
Yeah.
being with us today. Can't
pleasure.
wait to watch the movie, which, by the way, starts to stream tomorrow, and we'll be looking out for Candy Cane Lane House. All right, everyone, great ideas, and don't forget to see Candy Cane Lane starring Eddie Murphy. It's streaming tomorrow on Prime Video, so great thing to do this time of year.